So, today we are going to be discussing Chapter 262 of the My Hero Academia manga. Now, in case you're wondering why I'm covering the manga and not the anime, it's mainly because, while I am still watching the anime is covering events that have already transpired in the manga. So, I'm not really going to cover the anime unless it's like covering a particularly hype moment. Then I will cover the anime. However, since I just recently caught up with the manga, I thought, hey, why not, start reviewing the My Hero Academia manga. Plus, the manga is covering brand new material while the anime is covering older material. And so this most recent chapter is chapter 262, which opens up with a large Nomu chasing down Crust. I believe he's the number 6 ranking hero. And Mirko's the number 5 ranking. But the number 6 ranked hero, Crust, and we actually get, an explanation of his quirk, which is he can create 2 shields from his body. Well, we see 2 shields, but I'm sure he can create more shields. The thing is that he can create shields from his body. And we get a little bit of an explanation. Scooby, get down. Sorry, that's my dog. We get a little explanation of the Nomus and sort of the class system that they have. So we figure out that there's actually a Nomu class system with low, mid, to high ranking Nomus. And, that explains what the high ends are. The high ends are pretty much the tippy top of the high Nomus. High ends, and they are the only type of Nomus that can retain the personality of the person they were before, which is fascinating. They didn't really talk about that much, but it does make sense since the only Nomus so far we've seen do that are the high ends. We haven't really seen any of the lower tier Nomus do that, so that makes a lot of sense. And, we kind of get a little explanation that the Doctor pretty much tracked down villains who pretty much like to pick a fight, to be, who became the high ends. That's pretty much the kind of people that he tracked down, which kind of falls in line with the high end that fought Endeavor. He was sort of this punk that, often like to fight strong guys. He was kind of like Kendo Rappa, actually. He became the basis for the high-end hood that Endeavor fought. And now we get to see Mirko's battle with the high ends. And so Mirko's battle with the high ends is something I was really anticipated to see, because I was wondering, Endeavor had a really hard time with the high end, but just one of them, How is Mirko going to do against these guys? And it turns out that, oh wow, I was deadly wrong, because Mirko is actually laying waste to these Nomus. I mean, she's just jumping around, like jumping around, spinning around like Sonic the Hedgehog, messing up these guys. And, all these Nomus are just completely just blown back by Mirko. I mean, it's not even a contest. It's crazy how strong Mirko is compared to these Nomus. And even when the Nomus, throw out, different and interesting techniques, Mirko always seems to blow back these Nomus. In fact, probably my favorite part of the manga, we actually see, that she's prepared to snap the neck of one of these Nomus. And the Nomu gets ready to shoot laser eyes and, shoot off lasers from its eyes. And Mirko dodges the lasers and then pulls its head off with her legs, which I found incredible. That was incredible just to see the kind of fighting talent that Mirko has. Like, wow, you do not want to mess with her. she is very strong and messes up several, strong-looking no moves in this manga. This manga is pretty much all action, which, this manga chapter is pretty much all action, which, I'm fine with. Because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the last one was sort of a dialogue-heavy chapter. So, it's good that this one was very much mostly action, and I'm expecting that the next chapter will also be a lot of action, because I think not only will we see Mirko's fight with the no moves continue, but, and this ties in with the end of this chapter, we actually see that Skeptic has, figured out that the heroes have invaded, and he pretty much comes to the conclusion that it's Twice's fault, which, Twice is kind of a loudmouth. He's prone to leaking information. And also, who could he have leaked it to? Well, Hawks. And that's exactly what happened, because back in chapter 258, Twice mentioned something to Hawks about Shigaraki powering up in Kyoto. And yeah, Hawks is like, oh, really? Interesting, yeah. Not even thinking about the fact that, Hawks could tell it to the other heroes, but, they all thought Hawks was very loyal to the Liberation Front and would never dare go against it. Oh, we forgot the fact that he's the number 2 hero. And so now they are screwed, and we might actually see some more of the villains come into play. And not to mention that Mirko's battle with the Nomus is just starting. I believe she's taken out 3 of the Nomus already, with 2 left. And she takes all of them out in spectacular fashion, just splattering them everywhere. It's just amazing. So yeah, that was chapter 262 of My Hero Academia. Really solid chapter. One of my favorite chapters of, this arc so far. I don't know if I like chapter 260 better, because chapter 260 definitely had a lot of interesting story stuff to it, but this chapter, man, Mirko just laying down, just laying down these amazing moves. Just, wow. I mean, I bet the no moves didn't even think that, they would be fighting against someone so agile and so strong. I mean, and she uses, these moves she uses one move called the Lunar Ring that's just her just spinning around and just knocking into guys. Like, wow, she is incredibly agile and incredibly powerful. We also kind of figure out that her quirk is pretty much, can do anything a rabbit can and more, because, well, obviously, when did you ever see a rabbit do that? But pretty much it just means that she's super duper agile. And that's what we see in this chapter. Really solid stuff. Keep it up, Horikoshi. I'm really enjoying this arc so far. I think, with the way this arc is panning out, it could probably be my favorite arc of the series, but we'll have to see. And I'm definitely expecting more of the villains to be involved in the next chapter, I'm pretty sure sometime soon we will see Shigaraki rise. I'm assuming that once the heroes get to Shigaraki, it will be too late. He will rise, and he will probably blow them back with his newfound power. That's what I'm expecting. So yeah, really solid chapter, and yeah,